What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Hof Bergmann. We've got a lot in store for us tonight, and as you saw from the thumbnail, our goal is to start producing some goods for the locals. And as far as locals go, that means the local bar and pub. So hopefully we're going to fire up the malt facility at the brewery. We also have some grapes we could harvest up at the winery. But before that, we do need to get some grass cut for some hay and silage production. And to that end, we are cutting field grass. One of the new crops here added with the 1.4 update. Field grass is going to give us more yield than traditional grass, which is going to be a good thing because we need more grass and silage. Go. What's up, Rojas Truck Farm? Well, thank you for watching those tutorials, and I hope they do help you enjoy the map. This is a standard map, therefore it is not 2x, because 2x would imply it's twice the size of something. It is a standard map. There's no such thing as a 2x map, after all. It's actually a little bit under a standard size map. We zoom out. You'll see that we have a bit of play area down here that's not yet been implemented. Although to some degree, if you play Hof Bergmann the way the map author kind of intends, it will play as a much bigger map because everything is very manual in its operation and really intended for small scale. In fact, there was an interesting comment I haven't replied back to yet on one of my videos today around this map as to which production is best for money here on Hof Bergmann. And I'm thinking, that's not really the goal of the map. It isn't to earn a bunch of money. The goal of the map is just kind of zone out and do your own thing, and to some degree do your own thing in a small scale. I mean, imagine the custom things he could add in if he doubled his play area, doubled the size of the towns. I will be interested to see what we get as far as yield off of this. Uh-oh. See if we can cut down a boar. Or is he going to run off? I mean, this map would be great for a community server for sure. You can definitely dole out tasks. I think there's a mod out there that lets you kind of assign tasks to a task list. Like, hey, we need to make sure we do this, and this on any given day. To some degree, playing solo, you gotta figure what are you going to get into and what are you not going to get into, just because you don't have the time. And now with some of these things, like the cherries, are only good in select times of the year. Apples are only good select times of the year. The honeybee production is only good over summer and spring, right? So that kind of limits the need for certain things. Other productions are so slow, like the winery. You know, doing it once a year really isn't that big of a deal. Kind of get started, you come back 6 months later and it's still running. Probably kept you more busy than a 16x map, because so much stuff had to be done manually. Let's see how big a windrows we're talking about here. Yeah, we're gonna use the dryer. No. I'm gonna go for something big, but really we want something a bit more realistic sized, I think. What's up, Midwest Simulation? You know it, Urban Furball. I definitely have a shirt that says that. I probably have a mug that says that, dude. In my shop. Unless that's what you were getting at. The farm butcher is there, and now there's a more industrial scale butcher in town. Process is a bit quicker. Let's put our hay stuff across the street. I was going to ask you, Midwest Simulations, if you had any thoughts about attending the Sim Gaming or the Sim Racing Expo over Memorial Day weekend, Charlotte. George reached out to me, I think a couple weeks ago, about some things. When I made a post about how I was trying to get talk them into it from PAX, give me some background story, and other things. Apparently he's going to go to the Sim Racing Expo too, so I think we're going to hit him up again at that show. Basically like, hey dude, you're here at this show, and this show's only about racing. Why are you not going to go back to the show that's about sim gaming in general, which is your category? Makes no sense. Yeah, I got my plane ticket book. Obviously the special guest pass and the hotel's booked. The plane ticket was interesting. It was actually cheaper to fly out of a smaller, more regional airport than it was out of the regional airport I flew out of last year. Conveniently, we have our weight. Collect. I'm going into O'Hare. The small regional airport also offers direct flights to O'Hare. That's right, Raz. We got some jazz on tonight. Why not? I don't know if we're going to have any dirty wool. I'd like to get that wool process going as well. We're going to come back here. We're going to hire a helper. And we're going to check out our planter. We're planting some barley back in the field. All right, get to work. Let's see here. Oh, look. Look at this urbane furball. Clickety click on that. Also got some shirts, some hoodies, sticker. And of course, the old tractors make me smile. Oh, you're still working. All right. We're probably gonna need to get a bigger collecting wagon. Oh, you remember that one that had dirt rally going on? I don't remember the name of that one, but they were remarkably affordable for how overbuilt that thing was. And I don't know if you remember, or maybe you weren't there, but I had given a small interview to like a flight sim channel that came by the farm sim booth. And, you know, they were talking, asking about the show and everything. And they're asking to talk about the motion platforms. And I'm like, yo, dude, if you haven't checked out that platform, like behind the booth, you need to go check it out because it's super awesome. It's super cheap for what it is. And it's like way overbuilt. Well, they apparently went back there and checked it out. I guess they told them that I sent them back there. Or somehow they were watching the live streams. I don't know. Next thing I know, like 20 minutes later, they come hunt me down. That booth. And they were like, dude, thanks for your kind comments on that interview. I'm like, what are you talking about? Stewie, it's coming along good. They relaunched it with version 2.0 just a few weeks ago with some enhanced, completely new AI, or not AI, completely new UI redesign for the menus, redesigned tire model, continuing obviously to further enhance AI's difficulty and such. As a brand new title, it's going to be continuing to develop a bit more. They just had another update here, I think the end of last week or early this week. All right, we need to go get some fuel. Not the giant flight sim platform. That was ridiculous there. Alright, let's go get some fuel. Oh, Tom has completed his work. Tom better be the guy who was planting. David, thank you for being a channel member for 30 months. Nice. Speaking of that, this video is brought to you by Evil Reg and Greg Musin. Thank you for being farm barons. FarmSim works on every platform. So FarmSim 25 is obviously out on Xbox X, Xbox S, PlayStation 5, and PC. FarmSim 26 is coming out next month to iOS, Android, and Nintendo Switch. FarmSim 23 is already out for those mobile platforms. We've got FarmSim VR out for the Meta VR devices. What else we got? We got FarmSim Kids out for mobile. There's a FarmSim Plus or Enhanced or something. Oh. It depends on how the platforms work. Like, if the platforms simply interpret like suspension movement and such, then it's quite possible. There are platforms that would pick that up. I don't know anybody that plays FarmSim with a motion platform to know. That might be a question I need to ask at some of these shows. Man, I need some high-speed pumps. This is a slow pump. We'll go with 2,000 and then we'll stop. And now I need to come down here. Buy a few jerry cans. Wait, did they have fuel in them? That's new. I thought when we bought jerry cans they were empty. That was quick. Oh, I'm down here. I temporarily forgot where it was. All right, that field is done. Well, I would say Farm Sim's implementation of force feedback on wheels is not the implementation lots of people expect. It's more of a power steering as opposed to, you know, driving in the ruts and you feel the wheel jerking and pulling, you know, in your hand. Whereas with sim racing, yeah, if you drop the wheel on a curb, you're gonna feel it. Farm sim, if you drive on a curb, you don't. So it's a different feedback. Yeah, it's not a dead wheel because I played Farm Sim plenty with a dead wheel where there's zero resistance. And there's resistance there, like you said. I hearken it more to the feeling of power steering in your car. Where, you know, it's you turn the wheel and then a hydraulic piston turns the front wheels. So when your front wheels hit a ditch, a hydraulic piston doesn't send fluid back, which then causes your wheel to jerk, right? Well, as someone who's never had a Logitech wheel, I can't really comment on the G-Hub stuff. But what I can tell you with respect to Thrustmaster wheels, they just work. There's no medium wear that you need in between the wheel. It just works. You plug it in, you launch the game, it sees it. Alright, dude, let's sell this thing and see what we get. Anonymous, thank you for buying a fabulous sticker over at my shop. Much appreciated. Oh, let's go with something nice. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, wait. I need something else. That ain't gonna cut it. I mean, I was just using it because it was free. And I hadn't had an opportunity to drive back down here to shop. Alright, catch you later, Bane, for a bowl. Hope you like the sticker. It's a bit bigger than you might be expecting. I'm going to pick one more load of grass up. Then we're going to get our grass dryer working. We need to pick up the jerry cans from the shop. We need to transport some grain down to the malt production at the brewery. Also pick up some hops and some yeast for the brewer. And then maybe get started on our good old-fashioned. Why are you not moving? There we go. Good old-fashioned winery. The dryer now requires diesel. So with the 1.3 update, he changed the hay dryer from wood chips and straw to diesel, and you have to fuel it with the small jerry cans. These are some pretty big windrows, and the grass really wasn't that heavily fertilized. Yeah, I just hear so many people talk about Logitech and the G-Hub or whatever the middleware is. And my experience with Thrustmaster is you plug it in, you install a game, and you launch it, and there it is. I mean, there is a app you can install, but it's more or less an app to, one, verify all the buttons are working, and two, upgrade firmware. That's about all it's used for. Why the camera's so high on this tractor? Is that my head's sticking out of it. Yeah, you'll see me get this thing fired up here in a moment. Alright, let's grab our van truck. So, I believe today, did the B video drop today, or is that members only till tomorrow? I forget. But we do have a B video dropping either soon or today. Tomorrow might be the malt video dropping, which we're about to do here. And then I've got a video for the vegetable area still to come out, and then a video for I don't know, I forget. I've got videos up till Thursday. Alright, let's roll. Yeah, I've been trying to do a member video 24 hours ahead. I grinded Hof over Easter weekend and got all those videos put together. Mark, did you get the heavy machinery mount also? That kind of sets the wheel more of a horizontal angle than vertical. Now, I'll be honest, I kind of play both keyboard, mouse, wheel, and pedals with Farm Sim. I drive when I'm in first person. It's not full. None of these are full. Okay. So if I'm in first person like this, I'm going to be driving wheel and pedal. If I'm third person, I'm driving keyboard and mouse. I really don't use the extra buttons on the wheel for Farm Sim. I learned Farm Sim keyboard as far as the controls, and that's what I continue to use. But I do like to drive. Oh my gosh, get out of my field. All right, we're gonna take our jerry can. We're gonna fill it up. 50 liters of fuel. I don't remember how much this thing takes. I think it might only take 2. Get over there. All right. I mean, whatever works for you guys, right? I've had a wheel because prior to getting into Farm Sim, I was sim racing. And all we gotta do is put our can next to the dryer and it empties. Yeah, that one's empty. So that's done. So it holds 100. Now let's turn it on. And what I really like about Farmer Andy and his stuff is, we'll see. Oh no, a little bit of grass planters. We'll see the grass go down and the hay come up. Grab the other trailer. Give me the wheat. I'm only going to do part of this. There we go. 10,000 liters of wheat. Let's go to the brewery. Alright, now we're wheeling and pedaling. What's up, McAllen? Tell you what, guys, I met a modder over the weekend. I can't talk too much about specifics, but he was telling me about a project, multiple projects he's got going on for Farm Sim. He's planning on submitting the base of these projects this week to Farm Sim, and if they pass, I think it's going to make some pretty big impressions on multiplayer and single player alike. Really excited to sit back and kind of watch as this goes, but it has the potential to bring Farm Sim a whole new level of interactivity and well, give you a bunch more to do. We'll just leave it at that. Well, why you don't have to type multiple times, because that's just annoying for people. So since you're doing that, I'm not bothering to read anything. How does the map feel after the version update? I mean, it feels the same as it did before, just with some further enhancements, refinements. Oh no. Might do some. I don't know. We'll see. My luck, it'll drop, and there'll be like 7 other maps that happen at the same time, and then it doesn't work. Well, I can't go into details because, well, until it's out, there's too much of a copycat syndrome around Farm Sim these days. What is up, dude? Alright, why can I not? Oh. It's stuck on that. Alright, we'll go here and do it then. Malt. I really wish this was like organized. Activation. Grain crops. So it's going to accept any of your standard grains. We're going to get malt as an output. We're going to send this to distributing because, oh look, fill plane is there. We got our malt cooking there. Wonder what's upstairs. Oh, nothing. Well, that's disappointing. I mean, maybe the malt storage is up there. Because, well, no, the malt storage is in the bins. But distributing, right, it's going to go over here. It's all the chemicals. This is his twin. Right? So we're gonna need to buy hops. That should be enough of those. We'll buy some of those. Well, McAllen, I think that would be cool and all. I think the game overall needs to be a bit more multilingual, multilanguageable. Like, with respect to signage. Right, like we have regionalization in sell points potentially, and other things like shop items and such. But if we could have regionalization on signage around the actual map, that would be nice. So you would have maybe American road signs, German road signs, Italian road signs, French road signs, whatever your language was set to. Those signs could maybe dynamically change. It'd be great if we had the ability to toggle the direction of traffic. Right? Like, I want right side traffic, or do I want left side traffic? Or do I want no traffic? That'd be a nice enhancement. I don't see any issues with frames on this. Now, do note we are running 1440p. We're streaming 1440p, right? We're encoding and playing here at the same time. It's smooth, no stuttering. None of that silly DLSS or other jazz going on. Traffic keeps you honest. I'll give you that. Traffic will keep you honest. Alrighty, let's put this up here. And I need to show you the farm shop. I learned something about the farm shop since our last live stream. It may not actually be broken, it's just the intake trigger's been moved. Let's head across the street. Alright, remember we put these things in here and it didn't sell. Well, that's because we've got to put it on the table. Right? And remember, the way this farm shop works is we don't get Insta money. Instead, it accepts our product and then we will earn money over time. Right? So it's not broken. It's just he moved the trigger on us. Okay. But at least you can always just turn them off. That over here. Let's get our brewery running. Yeah, it probably is. Man. Why am I doing this the hard way? I forgot I had universal auto load on. Full throttle farming. That's the only way we go. So what do y'all think is the next DLC coming out? Can we fit in here? Nice. Well, I doubt Farmer Andy had the opportunity to sample a VW Caravan. So he just rolled in with a generic in-game engine sound. Oh boy. She's a little top heavy. Autoload is indeed the best mod. And it just seems to work. Well, Giants is never going to tell you. But I would say it's not going to go back to 2 years. Oh no! Terrible things have occurred. Where is it? There we go. So we could speculate that we're going to get a new farm sim the end of next year, but there's no real assurances there. All right, we got that going on. Now we can get up to a winery. They announced I'll have to check my files, but I think it's going to be spring of 24, because it would be prime FarmCon content that summer leading up to the release. Wine production. Give me my harvesting machine. You know, it'd be nice if you could auto-load a vehicle. Right? All right, let me just check and see what I have as far as the announcement goes. It's too early to be wondering about that, honestly. I no longer have time date stamps because I had to move everything off of my old storage to new storage, and everything's dated wrong. But it would have been around April 24. I mean, if they're going to keep with 3 years, then we should know by this time, sometime around this time next year. But I tend to not speculate too much, and I definitely don't go and hog wild on top 10 things I want to see in the next farm sim. Blah, 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 blah. That's all just clickbait videos. I try not to get overhyped, because if I do, nothing they release will ever live up to the hype that I put in my head. And then at that point, whatever they release is going to be a vast disappointment. So do I want to set myself up just to be disappointed? No. It's harvest our grapes. Fabulous little harvester. Yeah, I mean, 25 came out November 24. 22 came out November 21. So it'll be announced spring of 27. The release of October, November of 27, and it would feature heavily in FarmCon 27, which would be held in July. This harvester is from the mod Hof Bergmann, the map. It's not a mod, it's part of the map. know, David. I mean, it depends on you know, what they come up with. Depends what things they really intended to add but didn't get to in 25. Like, I honestly now feel that the NPCs are half-baked. It would have been nice if they were a bit more fleshed out than being kind of extensions of a tutorial. I think Walter and Ben could have easily been further developed and further refined into a bit of a tutorial story line for new players. Like, every morning you get up, every month you get up, and maybe as a new player you have an opportunity to talk to Walter, and Walter's like, hey kid, you know, today you're going to need to focus on doing these tasks, right, to stay on target because of the seasonal changes, right? Like, we need to make sure we get our wheat harvested today because it's going to be the last day to get that done, and we don't want to lose our crop. Or, you know, we want to make sure that we get our field work done so that we can have it ready for planting. Because the game just dumps you as a new player into the open sandbox, and if you don't know what's going on, it can be really confusing. But I think Walter and Ben could easily have been further enhanced to be like a year-long tutorial for new players, walking them through the entire process from harvest to harvest, and potentially even later on in the game, like, oh, I want to do peas. Well, let me go talk to Ben, and Ben not only tell me what I need to do for peas, but maybe Ben's like, you know what, in May you need to do this, and you need to make sure you plant your peas early or your spinach early, so you can make sure that you get 2 harvests and all these other things. So that's a feature that I think they could enhance further. They could make it so modders could more easily interact with NPCs and customize them. We've seen a few maps where we've had custom NPCs, but they're just static kind of text. And I don't play Farm Sim to read. I play Farm Sim to play. Of course, more buildable buildings, more buildable structures. I want to see alpacas in the base game. I've talked about that before. Fruit trees, orchard that's more than just drawing trees out. But I do have to say, I like this grape harvester a lot better. And we can also use this for our pruner when it comes time. Maybe someone likes to do first-person farming. We have that here. if they could do further enhancements with respect to maybe optimization of the ground deformation. Would like to see like the ground react to rain more. Yeah, if there's rain coming off the roof, I'd like to see a line here. Wet pavement, dry pavement. Well, Mr. Dio, those videos pay off all throughout the entire run of the game and beyond. There's always new players coming to the game. I've talked about it recently because I mean, like Transport Fever 3 is coming out soon, sometime this year. I want to be putting that content out on the next channel, on our second channel. I really wanted to get into Transport Fever 2, and I did make videos on it. I did run through the tutorial and do videos on it through the tutorial. I watched other people play Transport Fever 2, but when the tutorial was over, I was left with what's next. I was left with indecision paralysis. I couldn't decide what to do. I couldn't decide what map I wanted to start on. I couldn't decide what decade I wanted to start in. When I did find a map I liked or thought I liked, then it was like, okay, well, where do I start? What town do I start? What do I do? I don't know. I need a tutorial. I need guidance. I need somebody to say, all right, do this. Oh, okay, I can go do that. I know how to do it. All right, now that that's done, go do this. Oh, okay. I know how to do that because I learned. But left to my own devices, I was like, what's next? And I think a lot of people have that with farm sim. If you don't have an agricultural background, you're like, what's next? So having a tutorial that runs an entire year. Like, oh, I see, like, we bought cows. Son, we really should have had some feed before we bought those animals. So you might want to run down to the shop and buy some feed. And then we want to make sure that we have, you know, grass in order to make hay. I was talking with folks at shows like PAX East and such. There's a lot of interest in the game, but there's a lot of interest from people that really don't know anything. And like so many other sandbox games, it's if you know how to do it, you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, it's pretty dang hard figuring it out. am too, David, and I'm hoping I'll have a better, I'll be better at getting going in the sandbox and not be so paralyzed by indecisiveness. I've done normal grape harvesters with this. The grape area hasn't changed really, and it wasn't until like 1.3 that this harvester existed. Maybe he had it in 1.2. It's a little cumbersome to get turned around and stuff. What's up, Andy? How's it going? I am on the Hof Bergmann map, as the title says, as it appears here. One of the most influential maps in Farm Sim over multiple generations. Well, thank you for watching. And it's a pleasure to have you here in the chat. But I can see where the struggle is, because I talk to folks at shows like PAX, like I said, and I describe the game as an open world ag sandbox, but literally you can do whatever you want, and there's no goals. Like, unlike every game at the show, where there's tasks to do, there's goals to achieve. With a sandbox game, the only goals to achieve are the goals you set for yourself. And if you don't know what to do, then you may have difficulty setting your goals. Tell you what, I haven't kept up too much with the news. I've tried to, but it's a little difficult. I learned today that ATS apparently is coming out with not only the cars and trucks, but apparently they're coming out with a coach add-on. Like you can be a charter bus driver. I saw that mentioned in, I think it was a video they put out about the their console development. I really can't recommend, because I cannot name you a multi-fruit map because I don't remember. I don't remember the video I put out yesterday. Was that map multi-fruit? I don't remember it. After like close to 1,500 map videos over the years, I don't remember too much about any map anymore. All I can say is to watch the playlist. Now there are a fair number of maps coming out with the with several of those expansion crops from. There's a prefab base game map in the mod hub. So that includes like summer barley, summer and winter barley, summer and winter wheat, rye, clover, and such. So there's more and more maps that support those crops. But to list them off, in fact, I think the map video I did yesterday, the map is no longer in the mod hub. My guess is it's getting an update, and the map author wanted it pulled for the update. That map was released Friday. I was out of town Friday to yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to make the video until yesterday afternoon. We got 1, 2, 3 more up and down passes. I do kind of wish I was really disappointed with 25 when it came out, because we have 3 distinct maps, 3 distinct regions of the world, and they all had the same growth calendar. Again, an opportunity missed to have 3 distinct maps, 3 distinct regions of the world, 3 distinct growth calendars. Then, modders who took any of the base maps and made any modder that took any of the 3 base maps, Ribbon Springs, Ribbon Springs, yeah, Hutan Pantai, or whatever the other one was, Sri Lanka. that if they did nothing, there would be one of 3 different possible growth calendars to work with. But instead, 90% of the maps or more come out with the same basic growth. I mean, the game has 25 crops now. I wouldn't really call that restrictive. Some of that argument will stand back when there was FS 15 or 17. Now, the argument doesn't really stand much weight. Just like the argument there's not enough machinery in the base game. That's bull malarkey because there's over 500 things in the base game. Farm Sim 17, there was like maybe 150. So it had some merit back then. Now, I will say that lots of the crops in the game are so specialized that I doubt they get played very frequently. I would like to see cheaper harvesting machinery for those specialized crops. Make them a bit more accessible to people who don't want to just cheat money in. But I feel like when it all said and done, most players probably settle into 4 or 5 different crops, and that's all they ever do. Yeah, downloading different geos was very, very nice with the Seasons mod. Because then you could take any map and just transform it to whatever you wanted. So that would be a nice enhancement. Like we have precision farming with like 5 or 6 built-in soil maps because each base map has a different soil map. Why can't each base map have a different growth calendar? Now we should hopefully see a different growth calendar with the expansion map coming out this winter, because as the image appears, I'm projecting it's going to be Brazilian themed. It's definitely South American themed. I feel it's going to be Brazilian focused. Oh, yeah, true. There we go. Well, I mean, the Asian market was the new market, as I understand, for Farm Sim. And to some degree, map makers are more inclined to make and design a map around their area. And I would venture to guess we just don't have a whole lot of modders from the Asian area at this point in time. Typically UK mappers will be from the UK. American mappers will typically be from North America. Although it can be quite funny when you see a North American map that's clearly made by someone that has no idea because they've never been here. And like, okay, you're kind of conforming to the stereotypical North American farming style, but it doesn't work. Alright, one more run and then we're done our grape. Let's go check out our brewery, see how that's progressing. What two maps are those? Up. mean, there's a fair bit of people who just don't want to have to deal with giants. It can be quite difficult. Sometimes with respect to working through their testing. And we'll activate. Okay. Oh, I mean, Itch is a very popular platform for independent, kind of independent games, self-developed games, kind of self-publishing. I just feel that discoverability isn't the greatest there. Go ahead and get these out of the yard. I mean, I like a bit of variety, but to be honest, a lot of maps are really not that impressive compared to just the innovations that we have here. There, we'll put those over there for now. All right, well, when we come back next time, we'll have some grape work to do. We'll have some brewery work to do. David, I've kept you occupied. Must be a slow day. Oh no, I ran over my bike. Put little chickens. Thought I put little chickens in here. Sell our quail eggs. There. Definitely put our little chicks in there now. Turn that off. Oh, there we got some hay. Through the drying process. Let's run down here real quick. Well, there's some bicycles on the mod hub. No, still not enough. Let's take our goat milk. Goat cheese. See, one of our grapes have sold. Strawberry or tomatoes have sold. Alright folks, and with that, we're going to call it for the night. I want to thank y'all for coming out, watching, and hanging out with me as we just chill here on the great Hof Bergmann 1.4. We do have a new Hof Bergmann Explained video coming out tomorrow for everyone. And expect a new Hof Explained video Wednesday and Thursday also of this week. And that should be all the 1.4 updates and changes that I have videos prepared for. Remember, Hof Bergmann is additive, so if you're new to the map, I do suggest starting with the first video of the Hof Bergmann Explained series and work your way up from there. Until next time, happy farming.